A lot of people think getting older means the body is going to break down, whether it be high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, or even if they're just going to get the big belly. Some people just give up. But it doesn't have to be that way, man. And in this video, I want to share with you some secrets that I believe anybody that, whether you're in your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s, that you need to pay attention to make sure you age with grace. All right. Now, your boy, at the time of making this video, I'm 34 years old. All right. And I'm a part of this crew too. All right. So, with me getting older, I've noticed, my dad's getting older. My granddad is at a point where he has dementia now, man, and I see my dad taking care of him. And so I'm even more mindful about my health these days. And as I age, I want to be able to share with you guys things that, I'm paying attention to make sure I'm taking care of myself, so that way I can take care of the people I love and care about. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are the same way. You want to be around for the people that you love and care about. Be around to see your children grow up, see your grandkids grow up. Be able to be around to take care of your mom and dad as they age. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to talk about some things that a lot of people don't talk about, like trainers. They don't talk about these things. Now, the first thing is this. It's not just about vanity anymore. It's easy to get a ripped up six pack and abs when you're in your teens or your early 20s. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that changed for me, like when I was around that age, yeah, all I cared about was looking good. But now that I'm in my 30s, I want to still look good in my clothes when I pull that shirt off. But now I'm not just focused on looks, I'm focused on wellness, okay? And so this is the first thing you need to start focusing on. It's not just how much calories you're eating to drop body fat, that way you can get rid of your belly fat and get rid of the man boobs, but the quality of the foods that you're eating and just your overall quality of life. I say this a lot in my content on social media. I say, if you don't feel well, it's because you're not eating well. I'm talking about things like the fast food. You're eating out all the time, man. You're eating sugar all the time. You're drinking alcohol all the time. And you wonder why you're dealing with high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes and feeling tired, things like that. It's the food. It's the way that you're eating, okay? Now, the other side of it is this. Nutrition is that's only one component of having an overall good quality of life. What about sleep? Are you getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep on a daily basis? You have a lot of influencers and motivational speakers out there who say sleep when you die and just hustle, hustle, hustle. Guys, I tell you this right now. When you hit your 30s, your ass better get some sleep. If you ain't getting no sleep, you're gonna notice it in other areas of your life. Like a lot of times, people who lack sleep, they have high stress levels. People who lack sleep, they find themselves wanting to binge eat. They have a lot of sugar cravings, food cravings, because you're not getting enough rest. And so you're not feeling rested to have enough energy to, go throughout the day to conquer the day, get to the bag, do your responsibilities with your family, whatever it is. And so you absolutely have to make sure you're getting enough sleep, along with eating a good quality food and not just eating out all the time. So you got to become responsible and be more disciplined, because this is your body we're talking about. And so the first part is wellness. If you want to age with grace, you have to focus on the way you eat. You have to focus on your sleep. You have to focus on your overall lifestyle, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing I think about is stress management. Now, if you ask me in my late teens, in my early 20s, man, I didn't know what the hell stress was. What is stress? I didn't know what stress or anxiety or pressure, overwhelm. I didn't know what none of those things were in my teens and early 20s. But now that in my 30s, I feel it. It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, if I'm waking up and I didn't get enough sleep the night before, my days are going to be extremely stressful, because I'm having to do everything that I normally do, all my non-negotiables, everything that's on my agenda, but my body just move a little differently. I think about back when I was in my early 20s, me and my buddies, we used to go out, stay out to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd get my ass back up around 7, 8 o'clock, go to school, go to college. You know what I'm saying? I went to Georgia State University. And it was easy. It was easy to just roll out the bed and go do what I had to do. But now that I'm in my 30s, man, let me stay up until 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Man, I'm gonna be a whole wreck the whole day. And the stress is gonna be extremely high. And this is just one side of stress, not getting enough rest. That's a big part of it though. Most people are not getting enough sleep. And so you got to make sure you're sleeping. But other areas, whether it be your work relationship, your family dynamic and responsibilities, you got to figure out what things trigger you and cause you to have a high level of stress. And once you understand what those triggers are, now you want to start to build routines around that stress. Let me give you an example. What worked for me, the way I used to work when I was in my 20s, man, I would just grind from 5 a.m. all the way into the evening time, because I used to do in-person personal training. And waking up at 4:30, not going to sleep until about 10:30 at night, I could get away with it in my 20s. But now in my 30s, when I would try to grind the whole day, I would notice that I would be extremely exhausted, not just physically, but mentally towards the evening time. And I know some of you guys deal with the same thing with work, grinding throughout the whole day. By the time you get home, you're sitting in your car for about 30 minutes to an hour before you go in the house because you're mentally exhausted. And so you got to make sure you have some type of balance. And what I started doing was I call it the Pomodoro method. That's what it's called. I didn't make this shit up. I started researching it. All right. But the Pomodoro method is basically you block off a certain time frame, whether it's 25 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, where you're grinding. It's all out focus, right? And then after that, you set you a timer up for like 25 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. And then once that timer hits that time, you take a break. Okay, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or even 30, right? And you're basically giving your brain a chance to rest, giving your body a chance to rest. It's kind of like you've ever seen like horse racers when they're racing on these horses for sport, right? They're not sprinting the horse the entire race. They're sprinting the horse at certain points, and then they have the horse kind of like coast. You know what I'm saying? They're just going through the strides. Just kind of like help them to recover before they start back sprinting again. You can do the same thing throughout your work day, and so that way you manage your stress and you manage your energy instead of grinding yourself through the whole day, and now you burnt out by the end of the day. And when you could go to the gym, you're so mentally exhausted and tired, you go home. You see what I'm saying? And so that's going to help you lower your stress level, which is going to help you maintain some energy to be able to do more things when you get off work towards the end of the day. All right. And so understand that. All right. You got to understand what aspects of your life are pulling energy away from you. These things are causing a high level of stress, right? And then you want to figure out what routines are going to work the best for you to manage your stress. So everybody's a little different. So that's the second thing. The last thing is this: structure. I see a lot of us, we're grinding, we're going. You know what I'm saying? I help a lot of high performers, a lot of corporate professionals, entrepreneurs, and so we're go-getters. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? We hustling. But at the same time, when we're younger, we can get away with just going, just grinding. I remember when I was younger, I'd be working all day. I go to the gym and really not have any type of structure at all. I just do some bicep curls, do some tricep extensions, do some abs, do some bench press, and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It might be an hour, it might be 2 hours. But here's the thing. If you ever seen like TV shows and movies where you have like a young person and then you have an older person, and the younger person, it take them like 10, 15 different steps to get the same results as the older person who takes 3 or 4 steps. And this is what I call maturity. And so as we get older, as we mature, you should have structure to be able to give you more time back and also even more effort. You don't have to put in as much effort because you know exactly what steps to take. And so when I think about this, I think about things like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, are you just winging it? Just, let me do some biceps, let me do some push-ups, let me do some shoulder presses, or do you have structure behind what you're doing? That way you're not spending an hour, 2 hours in the gym if you don't have that type of time. If you have structure, when you hit the gym, let's say you can only be in there for 45 minutes, you're like, okay, well, my plan, I got shoulders today. I'm gonna do this shoulder press machine. I'm gonna do the shoulder shrugs. Let's say I'm doing upper body. I'm gonna do chest press, bench press, my rows, my pull-ups, whatever it is. But I have structure around what I'm doing, step by step. The exercises, the reps, the sets, the rest time. I'm not guessing. And so that way I know that I can get in the gym and get out of there within 45 minutes or within 30 minutes. Guys, you don't have to be in the gym like a bodybuilder to get a nice looking physique. For guys, 10 to 15% body fat, you don't have to work out every single day of the week. You can work out 3 or 4 days a week, but you need to have structure to do that. All right, same thing with your nutrition. You don't have to do all these 6-7 meals a day. You can eat your base meals, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 1 or 2 snacks. But you have to be aware of your calorie intake, your protein intake. This is why I say structure is what's going to help us age with grace. All right, that maturity, understanding what are the main things I need to do. What are my non-negotiables to be able to have energy, to be able to look the part, and not have to do all the other, like entertain and have what do they call that, shiny object syndrome, just trying shit. I don't want to be at that point no more. I want to know what foods are going to have me feeling good when I wake up. What foods are going to have me leaned out, in my 30s and as I get older. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't just be, it's cool to try out new things, but you should have a foundation on what's gonna have you getting results and being like physically, but also how you feel on the inside, right? And so once you get these things, that's like a part of your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? You're mastering yourself, you're learning yourself. And so it's not something that you just do one time and then you just give it up. No, you remember these things long term. What habits and routines did you have that gave you energy? What habits and routines do you have to help you manage your stress? What habits and routines do you have to be at a certain percentage of body fat? You see what I'm saying? These are things that are necessary when we get into our 30s and 40s and 50s. It's in short, a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, man. All right. And as you understand it, as you start to do these things and apply these principles into your lifestyle, the things I've shared with you today, from the wellness, from the managing your stress, which is very important. We have a lot of men who are, losing their lives and leaving early off this earth because they're stressed. You know what I'm saying? But if you understood how to manage your stress a little bit better, you wouldn't be binge eating all the time. You wouldn't be emotionally eating like I used to do. Like, that's a whole nother story. I could talk about that in another video. But manage the stress, guys, okay? And then lastly, develop some structure, some non-negotiables that you live by. In other words, habits, routines that you live by on a daily and weekly basis that drive the results that you want to have. That way you can keep them. All right, it's not some magic meal plan or workout plan that's gonna get you results and help you keep them. It's what are you doing consistently, long term. Like, if you're not where you want to be at physically right now and health wise, it's because of the habits and routines that you've developed. So you need to change those habits and routines. You need to develop structure, new structure in your lifestyle, and so that way you can get better results and you keep those habits, you keep those routines, and it's gonna help you keep the results. All right. But hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. I'm gonna be dropping more videos for y'all on different areas of nutrition, training, wellness, mindset, the whole nine. All right, we out of here. Let's get it.